Here we are at the home of Christine DeTroy. This is one of our first interviews to get to know our neighbors a little better at Willow Grove. We all visit and wave, but we don't really know the depth and the background of our friends and neighbors, and this is how we're going to start to share stories. So we're with Christine DeTroy and her sister Charlotte, and who is visiting from
Chile.
And she's one of our favorite visitors. She comes every year or so. We all look forward to Charlotte's visit. Christine and Charlotte, one of the important questions that we'd like to know from you is, tell us about growing up in Germany and some of your childhood memories. Some might be good or bad. Let's start with the bad memories.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll defer to my sister, Charlie. Why don't you start?
Well, we had a nice grown up there, and we went to a private school, but then all of a sudden we had to put on uniforms to go to school with Hitler's, and black skirt, white shirt, and this little thing, I don't know how you call it.
It's like a tie.
Slips, yeah, the tie, black, and so, and then sing his song every morning, and I was the eldest. I had to be in the front line and hold my arm up all the time when I got tired, you know. So it wasn't too good, but afterwards, after we had school done, we couldn't go on to the university because we had to give 1 year for the Volk, for the Pueblo, and that means that we had to go to forced labor in the country to help because all the men were at war. And then, as I knew English, and 1 year after, I came to the Air Force and learned there especially about the weather and the charts for the pilots, where to go, what to do. And we were underground. We had underground service for the, how do you call that?
Well, you were in bunkers, sort of.
Bunkers, yeah. From where we had to see the incoming and outcoming planes. That was very well thought of. He thought of everything, that Hitler. Yeah, well, it was a terrible time. So I rather don't talk about it. I'm very happy in Chile, where we went since 1949. We lived there 62 years already.
Wow.
My mother passed away, but Angela and I am still there. And that's why I like to come and see Christine here.
And did you flee Germany right after the Hitler times, or during the Hitler times?
No, I had an uncle in South America, Mommy's brother. He took care of us. We sold the house, we packed up, and we came with SAS Airlines, Scandinavian airline system, all the way to Buenos Aires. There we were met with some other relatives and stayed in a home so beautiful, and Angela ate about 11 bananas, because we don't know that. Hitler only had pears, apples and pears, and I don't know, plums. He didn't import nothing. We don't know a lemon, we don't know an orange, nothing. Wow. So we ate, and then we came, after 6 days, we came to Chile, to our home, it's home now, to Uncle Marcos, our uncle. He has three children. They are my cousins, but one passed away, and I still have 2 cousins in Chile.
Wow. So you and your mother?
Yeah,
and another sister.
And another sister.
Yes.
Yeah, but Mommy passed away. She died in 91.
And Christine, your story is different. What's
A
your
little
age
different.
difference?
I think the age difference is 4 years, and I'm also the youngest, which also is, in birth order does make a big difference. I think well, I did not experience all the programs that Charlie had to go into, which were indeed, that was a draft. There was no choice. You could not ask, well, I'd like to do this. No, you are told you do this, you report here. And Charlie had to wear, I think, a lot, sort of uniforms, whatever. And there's one thing that Charlie hated was uniforms. She liked to dress dramatically as a teenager. I remember that so well. Greta Garbo was her favorite actress.
And Marlene Dietrich.
Yeah. So, she always stood out, and she irritated all the people where she worked. Where she was drafted into programs. And one thing I remember, my sister Angela and I visited her once at this place that was in the labor fund, whatever.
Yeah. And the camp, we had to sleep with 18 other people in one room. And I'm terrible about air, so at night I'd snoop off and open all the windows. And one lady, she was very bad, and so we picked up mice and put her in her bed. You know, we slept with straw beds, and they pinched you anyway in the cocoa.
Oh my gosh.
No, unbelievable. It was unhuman.
Sure.
Unhuman.
But I remember the story that Charlie told. For daytime dress, they had blue dresses and red skirts. And Charlie always liked jewelry, so she had a bracelet from my mother. It was bright red.
Yeah.
And so there was parade, and Charlie stood there, and there's the leader says, "What is this?" And Charlie says, "It's a bracelet." You know, and so, hey, I don't care.
Yeah.
And then, of course, she was called out. But then Charlie would get KP, which she loved, because she would take food home to the group and the camp where she slept with the others.
Yeah,
so actually, she was, in other words, stealing to survive.
Yeah.
And I remember that our mother at the end of the war was worried that Charlie had picked up very bad habits. But you know, it was survival.
Yeah.
And I think this is Charlie's survival was one thing. My survival was something else. I continued to go to school by train into the cities, and of course bombing and so forth. And all of that was frightening. But I realized that in many ways, I was just convinced I would survive. But that's because I was that much younger, you know, and I had good school experiences too. I had good teachers. I had teachers that I could, well, I always said by the tip of your nose you could tell who was a Nazi and who wasn't. And we had two maiden teachers, and we were actually evacuated to southern Germany.
That's what I mean. They had no bombs, no fire, no nothing. Right?
No, when I was in the south.
Yeah.
And we just let that rain.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And anyway, but my experiences are very different. We're also very different people. Again, I said birth order makes a difference. And what was very special about our growing up, we grew up in an artist colony, very progressive community. And so that gave you
Maybe
it's okay.
Yeah,
It's all right.
okay.
They'll stop. And they, well, it's,
I'll stop.
stop.